We're back. We are to episode 7, The Force Awakens. Um, Doing this one really late tonight because it was a busy, crazy day. But really want to get this one in the books because I just found out that I will be seeing The Rise of Skywalker on Tuesday. That's right, Tuesday morning. So I'm really excited. I got to get this and The Last Jedi in before Tuesday morning. So we're going to do this one tonight, and we'll pick up with The Last Jedi Saturday or Sunday night. We'll see. We'll see how things work out. But if you're new to these streams, what I do is I basically watch the movie on my computer, and using this time code right here, this is where I will be in the movie. I'm going to be watching it on Disney Plus, so if you want to sync it up with me and follow along, you're more than welcome to. If not, hey, that's fine too. It's your prerogative. Also, I'm going to let this video live on my channel as kind of a commentary that you can come back to and watch at any point that you want. If you feel like watching The Force Awakens and hear what I have to say about certain moments or scenes, you're more than welcome to join and do it that way. So with that being said, if you're going to follow along, feel free to jump in the comments and hit me up in the chats. Let's get this started before it gets too late because it's going to be a long day tomorrow. All right, start the time and start the movie. All right. How'd you guys like The Mandalorian? It was so good. It was one of my favorite episodes. Chock full of great cameos, too, man. What a fun episode. I think of all of them, it also has my favorite score, like the best musical arrangements of any of the episodes we've had so far. So it was really great. All right, to the sequel trilogy. Here we go. Episode 7, The Force Awakens. First movie in the Disney era. Luke Skywalker has vanished. In his absence, the sinister First Order has risen from the ashes of the Empire and will not rest until Skywalker, the last Jedi, has been destroyed. With the support of the Republic, General Leia Organa leads a brave resistance. She is desperate to find her brother Luke and gain his help in restoring peace and justice to the galaxy. Leia has sent her most daring pilot on a secret mission to Jakku, where an old ally has discovered a clue to Luke's whereabouts. All right, here we go. Got my caffeine in my Star Wars Celebration cup that I got in Chicago this year. Such a memorable experience, lots of fun. I'm ready to do this. I'm so excited for Tuesday, guys. I can't tell you enough. See how this saga wraps up. I love the first line in this movie. It's kind of a little bit of a dig at the prequels. I think it's something along the lines of, this should begin to do things right, or something like that. Not there yet, but I love this first shot of that First Order Star Destroyer, like silhouette in front of that planet, and then you have all the troop carrier ships coming out. Really cool shot. BB-8. Here comes the line. Yeah, this will begin to make things right. Hmm. Yeah, there's no denying right out of the gate that these movies have a completely different feel. I it's been a long time since I went from watching the original trilogy to watching right into The Force Awakens. There's a lot of things that JJ does right, but there's some, there's some new takes, which I don't think it's a mistake. It kind of reinvents the franchise a little bit, reinvigorates it. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like that, but hey, to each their own, right? Like, even to this day, I'm still not a huge fan of the new Stormtrooper design, the way they look. But, I've learned to accept it. And it'll probably change again at some point. Hmm. Here we get our first look at Finn as FN 2187. Fun fact that we learned during these live streams, the cell that Princess Leia is being held in A New Hope, when she's captured and taken to the Death Star, the cell number 2187. So clearly Finn's Stormtrooper name is a callback to that cell number. Can't be a coincidence. There's no way. And I don't know about a lot of you guys, but man, when the trailer for this movie dropped, I cried like a baby. And it was all because of Han. That one epic line, Chewie, we're home. Hmm. It was a pretty smart way to make Finn stand out as a stormtrooper with the blood smear on his helmet. Kylo Ren, Ben Solo. I still love the way his voice sounds when it's in the helmet. Hmm. I'll show you the dark side. Yo, and he freezes that blaster bolt. That's so awesome. You've never seen anything like that in Star Wars live action before. He just holds it in midair. Captain Phasma. She's a pretty underutilized character. I mean, there's so much to her backstory There's the book. I've never read the book, but apparently she's a pretty interesting character. But in the movies, you would never know. She's just kind of a side character that has a couple of lines, sadly. Oh, little BB-8. I love the design of BB-8, man. What a cool droid. Fits perfectly into the Star Wars like design form. Love it. And I guess you really think about it, it makes sense that all the First Order's tech is evolved and looks different than it would have because a lot of time has passed. Things are the same yet slightly familiar. Pretty cool. I don't know about you guys, but if I was John Boyega, I would have kept that helmet for myself. It's so cool with the blood smears on it. Huh. FN 2187. There's another subtle thing you might notice. Rey, when she's wearing her glasses or goggles here in this scene, those are her goggles are probably fashioned from an old stormtrooper helmet because the lenses are almost identical to what an old stormtrooper would have in their helmet, which makes sense for her scavenger lifestyle to make new parts from old or new use of old parts. God, every time I see this hill that she sleds down, this dune, I'm like, man, I want to do that. It looks fun. Pieces of TIE fighter laying around, and an old TIE fighter pilot helmet, crashed X-wing, crashed Star Destroyer. So cool to have utilized such a um, like wreckage from the Empire and Rebellion. Very, very cool. Hmm. The Simon Pegg's character. What an amazing shot right there with the sunset and the speeder going along the horizon. So gorgeous. Mm. That instantly rising roll. Why didn't the Imagineers at Disneyland come up with that for Galaxy's Edge? That would have been such a cool thing, a gimmicky thing to let people eat when they're at Batu. Oh, and the fact that she lives in a fallen AT-AT is so amazing. Mm. And then they fell in love, Ray and Baby 8. You fixed my antenna. Mm. Hopefully my internet stays up this whole time. Last time, with 10 minutes left in Return of the Jedi, my internet went out. What a pain. Hmm. You might want to rethink your technique. Hmm. Hux. There's such strange creatures on this planet. You look behind her, there's these like cycloptic creatures with big old eyes behind her. Hmm. Can you fly a TIE fighter? The banter between these two is so good. It's like, you need a pilot. First Order TIE fighter. I love how blunt Poe is here. He's like, I've always wanted to fly one of these things. You know, as a pilot, you probably always wondered what it would be like. So cool. This is the moment that Poe and Finn bonded. Fire. And Domhnall Gleeson is so good in this. He really is giving himself to the role of this Imperial officer. One of a kind. I like. There's a lot of BB units. The Goazen Badlands. Here comes that first iconic shot we ever saw in any Star Wars trailer after the prequels. Finn popping up, breathing heavily. Uh, Jakku. Hmm. This whole sequence is like a showcase of practical effects, of how they insisted on using practical effects for a lot of stuff. Every time that gross water gets me, every time. It's when he realizes that's the droid, and then the droid is like, "That's his jacket." Finn's a great character. Oh, BB-8's sad. Since I'm with the Resistance. It's one thing, the big difference between a lot of the stormtroopers in these newer movies than the old trilogy is a lot of these stormtroopers are thicker, built heavier. I still remember this part in the theater and how it made me feel when, and this was so brilliantly set up. What about that ship? That one's garbage. And when I saw this, it blew my mind. So awesome. I love this part. Flying the old Falcon. Crash Death Star. Or Star Destroyer. Man, those. What is this? Hey, Melisandra. Basically, I'm watching The Force Awakens and commenting on what I'm seeing. And if you want to join in, this is the time code right here. That's the point of the movie I'm at. And feel free. That's what this is. Some people call it watch parties. Some people call it commentary tracks. Some people call them watch-alongs. I just figured with the Rise of Skywalker coming out, I wanted to do this with all the Star Wars movies, and I have come this far. So, man, right out of the gate, Rey is a pretty ridiculous pilot. So awesome. Yeah, if you're on your phone, like if you have this movie on your computer or TV, you can just pull it up and fast forward to this point and listen to what I'm saying about what I'm seeing. I mean, I'm this is really for people who follow my channel and like to know my opinions on things, so it's kind of my commentary as I'm watching. There's not a lot of people joining right now just because it's so late and I didn't really announce this, but this is going to live on my channel after I'm done with the live stream so that people can come back and listen to the comments. That's really what this is. It's more so for that than it is for the live stream. Ray meet Finn, Finn meet Ray. And then right before they can get to know each other, the Millennium Falcon breaks down in true Falcon fashion. It's like one of its character traits, to break down when things are going well. I'm so glad Kylo Ren's putting the helmet back on in the Rise of Skywalker because he's so much better with the helmet. No, nothing against Adam Driver, but I don't like looking at his face when he's Kylo Ren. What girl? I love his Finn's like confiding in BB-8. The flame thumb up. I love it. Hmm. That's a big freighter ship. Could you imagine you're Han and Chewie like years and years later after losing the ship, and you're out in this big freighter, and you just happen to see a Corellian freighter just sitting out there, and you're like, could it be? Yeah. You can understand that thing? And he can understand you too. Oh, dude. I love that they got Han back, even though it's for one movie. Luke Skywalker, what? Yeah, new Luke. He's like, you have a Rathtar on this ship? Every time. Those Guavian soldiers are very like they're very anime looking. It's the guys from the raid. What was the second time? And two fugitives. Rathtars. Dude, Finn is so lucky he didn't get toasted by this thing. That was lucky. Boom. First time he's used the bowcaster, is that the deal? He's like, wow. And it's aboard the Millennium Falcon. Star Killer Base. I remember being so concerned when I first saw this. I was like, is this Snoke a giant? I was like, that's so dumb. But as we know, he wasn't. What a reveal. Han Solo is his father. I bypassed the compressor. Let's see what you got. Here we go. I love this part. What Han has to say. It's so contradictory of what he says in A New Hope. Mhm. It's true. All of it. So awesome, dude. I was I always get goosebumps. Maz Kanata. This is the big deal line. Women always figure out the truth. Always. I'm thinking about it. Oh, we're already an hour in. Man, I was like, we're not moving along very fast, but yeah, we're almost an hour. There's the Mandalorian flag. You can see it up in all those flags. Any of it. Talk about making an announcement. Hey, Han Solo, everyone stop what you're doing. Look. Maz Kanata. Such cool creatures in this little cantina. Interesting looking creature there. Starkiller base. Yeah, here we are. You know, rid of the original story drafts of A New Hope, it wasn't Luke Skywalker, it was Luke Starkiller. You know, it's funny. He's talking to Vader for guidance, but Vader was redeemed. He's now a Force ghost for good. It's just kind of ironic. Hmm. Ma's giving her history lesson to the new generation. Those glasses that Maz has, pretty crazy. Yeah, Finn just wants to survive. He's been in the thickness of evil. Rey is so disappointed. She's like, Finn, what are you doing here? I'm so disappointed in your decision to want to run. I'm never going back. Come with me, Rey. It's crazy. These movies aren't that old, and these actors look significantly older now than they do in this movie. Especially Daisy Ridley. Like, she looks so young in this. I mean, even from this movie to The Last Jedi, she's grown up and matured so much more. Ooh, this is the Force Vision part. There's so many little nuggets and Easter eggs in this little vision she has. And I also am dying to know how Maz got a hold of this lightsaber. That's something that I'm dying to know about. Darth Vader audio. Then you see the hallway on Bespin where Luke fought Vader. Then you hear Luke yelling no. Then you see Luke outside the temple with R2 after Kylo has destroyed it. Then you see the Knights of Ren on some battlefield, which who knows what this is, but there's lots of bodies around, and there's the Knights of Ren, which we're probably going to see maybe something about this in the next episode. Then Baby Rey with Ankar Plot as her parents or caretakers blast away. And then you hear old Obi-Wan say Rey, and then you hear Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan whisper, "These are the first steps." So much to digest in that vision. It's like, what does it even mean? It's funny that was her reaction because when she hands that to Luke in The Last Jedi, that's his reaction too. This saber, I don't want anything to do with this thing. And that upset a lot of fans. All right, with Hux's speech here, I'm going to run and grab a snack really fast. Keep it playing. I'll be right back. Give me like 2 seconds. All right. And I'm back. Hey, there's what's her name? She was in Ready Player One. She's just like a brief background character in this. God, forget the Death Star's blast. The Starkiller base is like the ultimate. Pretty crazy. There's some really cool shots though with this beam firing through space, and you see the reflection off Kylo's mask. You can always they can see it all the way from Maz's planet up in the space, in the distant reaches of space. They're toast. Did think it's a bit strange that this beam split off into like 6 different. I don't know. Being overly critical. Here comes the First Order. That shot of the silhouette of those TIE fighters with the sun was so cool. I always hated that answer. Han's like, "Where did you get that lightsaber?" And she's like, "A good question. A story for another time." It's like, come on. Say something. Kylo Ren's ship is so over the top. In this, that those giant like wings. I mean, I get that it's kind of a spin-off of the Imperial cruiser, or the Imperial shuttle from the original trilogy, but the no-look shot by Solo. Oh, dude. Finn ignites the lightsaber. So awesome. It is pretty cool that Finn gets to be the first hero to wield a lightsaber in the sequel franchise. You okay? Big deal. That's a cool shot. You can see the X-wings coming off in the distance off the water. He got his lightsaber back. Go Poe. So great. Hmm. Oh my gosh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Man, Maz's castle is just nothing. Non existent. Pile of rubble. Oh, and then Han seeing his his estranged son taking Rey away. It's got to be heartbreaking for him. Haha, here comes the sweet reunion. So good. Oh my gosh. Uh, that part gets me every time when C3PO butts in. Goodness. Hmm. Precedes Finn. BB-8 and finds Poe again. Man, I sure miss Carrie Fisher. She's such an integral part of Star Wars. It's sad that she's gone. Oh, here we go. R2. It was a bit disappointing that R2 and Luke kind of got left out of this episode almost entirely. But was it Snoke? I feel like this next chapter is going to open some ideas. Snoke might not be exactly who we thought he might have been. Rey looks so young in this scene. Hello, Adam Driver. This is where we get our first sense of Rey's Force abilities, where she clearly is something more going on than just a regular, like, youngling or whatever you want to call an early Jedi. He's getting pushed back, and then he's like, "What? This isn't normal." She's actually reading his thoughts and minds. Andy Serkis is so good. They really need to do something in the Academy for recognizing stop motion, because he is a pioneer. He is just brilliant. I love this. This is the scene where Rey uses a mind trick on a stormtrooper. That stormtrooper, by the way, that stormtrooper is Daniel Craig. You probably knew that. Some of you may not, but that's Daniel Craig. You can hear his voice. It's cool. And I'll drop my weapon. Well, there was Daniel Craig's Star Wars appearance. Excuse me, I'm still shaking this cold or whatever this has been. So I've just been muting my mic every time I have to cough, so you guys don't have to suffer through that sound. Greg Grunberg. Admiral Akbar. Oh man, we're getting there. 45 minutes left. Let's get some X-Wing action going. I'm sure Greg Grunberg was stoked when his old friend JJ asked him, "You want to be an X-Wing pilot?" Here's the final goodbye. Mm. Oh, any emotional scene with Carrie always gets me because she was a legend. It was such a painful loss to lose her. Love it. Come at a light speed right on the surface of the planet, basically. It's definitely one of the roughest landings we've seen the Falcon have. Han Solo. Sanitation. Phasma's going down. Bring it down. Finn's trash talk to Phasma is so good. Here we go. TIE fighters. Hmm. Escape now, hug later. You can tell that Harrison Ford got back into his rhythm, solo rhythm. Oh yeah, I forgot about this scene. Yeah, Kylo Ren looks so much better with the helmet, even without the hood. That's how I prefer him. The sun is fading. It's getting dark. You know what that means. The base will be fully operational. You almost think Han had to know this was going to happen. He had to know this was going to happen, right? Oh man, it was so heartbreaking to see it happen for the first time. It was like, what? I actually didn't mind the way this went down. It was very sad, but I welcome the shock of it, like the unexpectedness. I feel like up to this point, a lot of Star Wars has been very predictable. Ah, poor Chewie. So the scene is still so tense. Even knowing what happens, it's still tense. Because you can see Ben struggling with this. Hmm. You help me. Oh, I don't think you realized what you agreed to there, Han. Hmm. Han has like the feeling of redemption, almost like his son is coming back to him. I love the symbolism of the sun going away, and it's like the darkness has fully taken effect. The darkness has taken over Kylo at this point. Oh, you can hear Chewie's pain. Oh my gosh. Oh, dude. Han. Oh, it's brutal. And Leia knows what's up. She felt it. Chewie's pissed. He even shoots Kylo, man. You can't blame Chewie, man. He's practically family for Han. He sees Rey and Finn. He doesn't really know about Rey at this point. Well, yeah, he does. Never mind. We're not done yet, says Kylo. Got that blaster wound. I think that's really the only reason he wasn't able to just destroy Finn right away. Said he was mortally, or not mortally, but suffering that bad wound in his hip. Yeah, dude, I love when Finn stands up and just. Yeah, Finn. Oh, there he goes. Oh, Finn got sliced. Meanwhile, back on X-Wing, the X-Wing mission. You have to pardon me, guys. It's late. My brain is almost turning off. I'm just trying to get through this. There's a mini trench run here. And when Poe flies in, he's just like tearing it up from the inside. Boom. You know, them fighting at night in the snow, it gives off some really cool lighting effects and reflections, which I love. She's like, the Force. Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people complained that Rey was never fought with a lightsaber before, was able to take out Kylo Ren. But you got to remember though, he took a freaking bowcaster bolt to the side, so he's hurting pretty good. And then she chops his face. Hmm. These poor guys on Starkiller Base, they're like, what do we do? We should probably evacuate. Thanks for the lift, Chewie. Star Killer Base is no more. Boom. Get Finn in that bacta suit. Let's get him healed up. Yeah, dude, I'm done. Look at me. I'm falling asleep. I'm sorry, guys. This is embarrassing. Whatever. Hardly any of you are going to watch it this far anyway. So this hugging scene between Rey and Carrie, I'm sure they're going to use this in some way in the Rise of Skywalker. Because we know that JJ did say that they used a bunch of Leia, stuff they shot with Leia that they didn't use, and are kind of repurposing it. So that'll be really interesting to see what they do. R2's awake. Hmm. R2's map, and then you add with their powers combined, they have the map to Skywalker. She's like, I don't want to leave you, Finn, but you're out cold and I got stuff to do. You know, and there's hope that the Poe, Finn, and Rey will get to stick together as a group for the most part in the Rise of Skywalker. That's one thing they haven't really done in this movie is all been together as one group. This is so cool. I just remember seeing this the first time thinking, man, no Luke Skywalker? What the crap, dude? Not cool. But then I knew at some point this is where it had to take us. Because they kept doing all these interviews with Mark Hamill, and he kept talking about being in the movie, and it was like, okay. Anyway. Here we go. She's reached the summit of the island. And man, say what you will about this movie, but this cliffhanger at the end, oh, it's one of the best ones, but it's also one of the most frustrating because you're like, God, just we want to hear one word from Luke. His look is so intense. And Rey's making such a humble expression. And that swooping aerial shot's pretty awesome. Oh, what a cliffhanger. Well, guys, The Force Awakens, I love it. It's a great movie. It has a couple things I don't love about it so much, but for the most part, it's it's in the top half of my favorite Star Wars movies. Um, one more, and I got one more to watch, and then on Tuesday we get to see the Rise of Skywalker and figure out how this whole saga comes to a head and how it all wraps up. Man, I really had to fight through this one. It's late. It's 2:15 right now in the morning. If you go back, you'll see me almost dozing off a couple times, but I fought through it. Used the force, as they say, to get through it. Um, there's only a couple of you who joined tonight, but that's fine. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully, if you're watching this on the rerun, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And we're going to do this again one more time. And then I promise, I swear, that these won't come as frequently as they have in the past few weeks. I'm just, like I said, I was trying to cram all these in before the Rise of Skywalker comes out. I do plan on doing some more live stream watch-alongs like this for the James Bond franchise, but I'll space those out, maybe do one a week leading up to Bond 25, the newest one we have out there that was just announced. So, No Time to Die, sorry, the title slipped my mind. But anyway, before I fall asleep trying to talk to you guys, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Hit that like button. And normally I do 1-minute movie reviews, ranking videos, and all kinds of other movie-related content. So feel free to go back to my library and check out some of my other reviews. I have a review coming for Jumanji: The Next Level, 1917, and Uncut Gems. Those will all be coming within the next week. I got a couple screeners I need to catch up on. But you guys, we did it. We made it to The Force Awakens. We made it through late at night. I'm ready to retire, hit the sack, and hopefully have dreams of a galaxy far, far away. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, may the Force be with you.